Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mishra Keller here. We're talking about foot pain today. So as you've moved into these summer months and you put your flip-flops on, put your cute little wedges on, and you notice that you got a little foot pain that wasn't there before, listen up. I'm going to give you some tips on how to get rid of that pain and stay out of pain for the rest of the year. All right, so we are talking about summer foot pain from your summer shoes. So why do we get this? I'm going to refer to my notes here. So when you are in those fall, winter, spring months and you're wearing your shoes, you're wearing your more supportive shoes, it's a double-edged sword. So when you take off your shoes, you let those toes spread out, let your feet spread out from being cramped in your shoes, then it's great. It liberates your feet. It gives them a chance to not be cramped in a shoe all day. However, when we switch from those more supportive shoes to a less supportive shoe like a flip-flop, then that can start to cause issues with our feet, especially if we're not doing anything to treat our feet or to treat our bodies to better help them to manage the change in our gait and the information that we get from walking, which I will talk about in a few minutes. Or you may find that you have no foot pain during the summer months when you're wearing those cute summer shoes, but then when you hit the fall and you put those more supportive shoes back on, you may find that you're experiencing foot pain then. So I want to first make a shout out to my peeps who completed the questionnaire, not the questionnaire, I don't know what my brain's doing, the poll, the poll that I had in my stories yesterday. Thank you so much to you guys who participated in that. It's super helpful getting that information from you so I can better serve you. So there are some of you out there who are experiencing foot pain all the time. And the methods that you shared that you're using, most of you are just rubbing your feet when you feel foot pain. So I'm going to give you some tips today, and hopefully you can take some of these, the things I'm going to share with you today, you can implement right now. You don't need any tools. One of them you do need a tool, but two of the tips I'm going to share today, you don't need any tools. So you can try those right now and start to feel better in your body. I spoke about, you can check out my IG TV videos. A few weeks ago I did another foot pain video, and it was focusing more on plantar fasciitis. That can develop over those summer months when you're wearing those shoes that aren't as supportive. And then, like I said before, when you get into the fall, that's when you start to notice that. So check out my IGTV video if you're suffering from that now. There's some really great information there and some ways that you can heal your foot pain and stay out of pain. Or if you put on those kind of ridiculous shoes and wear them for too long at a party, or just wearing them out to do whatever. I've been guilty of that myself. These tools and techniques and tips will also help you to kind of treat your feet after you've had one of those experiences where you've worn those kind of ridiculous shoes and then your feet hurt. Okay, so I'm going to share my tips. The first one is called, let me take my glasses off, the monkey foot grabs. It sounds super fun, right? Anything with animal themes is fun. Okay, so this is super simple in concept. Not always easy to do, but the mechanics of it are easy. So you're just going to take your melt large soft ball, you're going to place it on the floor, and you're just going to put the ball underneath your big toe. And you're just going to grab the ball with your big toe, lift your leg, and hold it for 2 to 3 seconds. Mine is already slipping out of my big toe. Just hold it for a couple seconds. Then you're going to switch to the second toe and do the same thing. Just grabbing that ball, lifting the leg, holding it for a couple of seconds. Now, when I was practicing this earlier, first 2 toes, pretty good. When I got to that third toe, not so much. So we lose dexterity in our toes because we're not really using our feet. think you're using your feet, but really not using your feet. This fourth toe was impossible. Fifth toe, even more impossible than impossible, if that's even possible. So, but you want to do it on both feet. Just grabbing. See, I'm really struggling here. I need to add this one into my rotation. There we go. So grabbing it, holding it, switching, going down each toe. But yeah, we don't really use our feet. And that's something that you can challenge yourself if you have foot pain. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but if you use something like the techniques I'm going to talk about later, some treatments that you can do. So this third toe, fourth toe, yeah, fifth toe. I need to work on this one. The way our bodies were designed, they were designed to be outside, right? Walking on different terrains, climbing trees, stepping on rocks, climbing rocks, all kinds of things. And we use our toes for all of those functions. So we're not doing that. We've got paved roads now. So, you know, unless you make an effort to get out and on grass or get into nature and hike and do those types of things, you're just not getting exposed. Your body's not getting that exposure. So you will lose the ability to flex and extend your toes, to grip things with your toes. Your body and your brain and your feet stop communicating with each other, especially if you're not treating your fascia and the tissues dehydrated. That the ability for your feet to communicate with your brain and vice versa, you start to lose that ability. So it's super important, obviously, to get out. If you, I'm going to talk about another tip later, some bonus tip, but that has to do with what I'm talking about now. But if you can get out in nature, walk, hike, do those types of things, climb some rocks, those types of activities, it will help you kind of build up that ability to actually use your feet more than just walking to the car, walking to your desk and sitting down, or even just having the shoes on is an inhibition to that process. Okay, I digressed a little bit with that too, so sorry. All right, the second one is heel to toe rocker. So with the heel to toe rocker, you're just gonna stand nice and tall. Key thing here is you want to have your legs straight, but you don't want to lock out your knees. So soft knees, all you're gonna do is shift your weight forward onto your toes and lift your heels an inch or two off of the floor, and then take a pause for a breath. And then you're going to set your heels down and you're going to rock back on your heels and lift your toes, pause for another breath. And then you repeat, shifting the weight forward, lifting up those heels, pausing for a breath, setting the heels down, rocking back, lifting the toes, pause for a breath. Y'all, this is super easy. Anyone can do this, and anyone has time for this, because I know you're sitting looking at Facebook. You can even hold your phone and do it. I mean, I probably wouldn't do that because that's throwing you off a little bit. But you can turn on your favorite Netflix show, whatever you like to watch, or put on some music, whatever. But this only takes a few minutes to do this, and it's super easy. Anyone can do this. And of course, I have a dance background, so it is maybe a little easier for me to balance up there, but start where you are. If you can only just barely lift off the floor, that's fine. Don't let that stop you. If you get up there and start wobbling, that's fine. Don't let it stop you. Just start somewhere. And so my third tip is actually going to help you to do these other two tips even better. And obviously, the third tip is always melting, isn't it? So, yeah, so I'm going to talk through, actually I don't need notes for this. I'm going to talk through the mini foot treatment. The mini foot treatment is an excellent tool for you to add into your self-care arsenal. It's a great way to wake up in the morning. It's something that you can do really quick, even if you sit at a desk a lot. When you can take a break, do a quick mini foot treatment. It's great to do before you do activities, or a workout, or if you go for a walk, or it's good for recovery. It's just an all-around good tool to have in your toolkit. Okay, so first I'm talking through the things. So the first one, I'm just going to kind of talk you through each of the steps in the mini foot treatment. The first step is always assessment. Okay, anytime you're melting, you're always going to take time to assess and reassess. And it's super important that you do these two phases. You don't want to skip these. These are really probably the most important part of the method. So you want to assess your body. You want to get in there, sense what you're feeling, see what's going on. This is your opportunity to notice any areas of stuck stress in the body, and just really take a moment to get in tune and get in touch with your body. We're so busy in our worlds. We have so many things that we're doing, so many obligations, a lot of stress and anxiety, and we're so like outward, and we don't really take a lot of time to go inward. So this is a really good opportunity to give yourself that moment to go inside your body, see what it has to say. Okay, it's always speaking to us. It's a matter of learning to stop and listen. So after the assessment, we do the glide technique. Now I need my notes because I feel like I skipped something. No, we glide. We glide next. I was just doing another foot treatment before this, and then I was like, are we supposed to glide first? Yes, we glide first. So the glide technique is a preparatory technique and an exploratory technique. So it's another opportunity for you to notice what you feel in the tissue, to explore the tissue, see what's going on in there, see what it has to say, and it also prepares your tissue for the next step, the next technique, which I'm actually going to demo for you. This next technique is the shear technique. The shear technique is when you are actually creating the fluid exchange in the tissue. You're increasing the. I think I've mentioned this before. If you followed me and watched my other videos, your connective tissue is a three-dimensional fluid-based system. So what we're doing with the shear technique is we're creating more space for that fluid to occupy, to be able to hydrate that tissue. So what you're going to do is all you do is you put the ball underneath position point 5. Position point pressing, that was the other thing. I'll explain that in a second. Put it under position point 5, and you're going to put your toes down. You compress the ball. You always compress to the level of tolerable pressure. You don't want to feel pain when you're melting. So you compress the ball, and then you just wiggle your foot. It's like you're scratching an itch on the bottom of your foot. And what you're doing is you're pinning the tissue and creating that additional volume of space for the fluid to occupy. And anytime you do a shear force in any of the melt techniques, you always want to wait. We need to give our bodies a moment to adapt to the changes that we just made. So you do your wiggle, you compress the ball, and take a focused breath. And that's it. Super easy. Again, anyone can do this. Position point pressing. I did skip one. My brain was trying to tell me something. When you're position point pressing, in the melt method, we have different position points on our feet and also on our hands, and these are areas where nerves are coming together. So you get a lot of bang for your buck when you are kind of activating these different areas on the hands and feet. And you're not only hydrating those areas, you are also stimulating the corresponding organ systems to those position points. So you're doing a lot. Hand and foot treatments are so powerful, and for the first, probably 2-3 years, I was primarily doing hand and foot techniques, and that was really how I got out of my knee pain, was able to heal a knee pain that had been going on for months and months and months, and I was trying everything and nothing was working. So once I implemented the hand and foot techniques, that was when my knee was able to heal, and I have not had that knee pain to come back since. So the position point pressing, really great part of a melt map to help kind of, again, hydrate the tissue, and you're also activating other parts of your body as well. So glide, shear, rinse. The rinse technique, maybe I did need my notes. The rinse technique is a global technique. So you created that fluid exchange with the shear technique, and now you're going to draw that fluid into the tissue. And this is why when you can just treat your hands or just treat your feet, I just did that backwards, didn't I? And you can experience a change throughout your whole body because the tissue is seamlessly connected, and when you do global techniques like the rinse technique, you're going to create an effect or a change throughout your whole body. And then glide, shear, rinse, friction. Friction is really great because if you don't have time to do a full melt map with the hand and foot techniques, you can grab your ball, do a little friction on your hands, do a little friction on your feet, and you will still notice a change in your body. And it's because we're stimulating our lymphatic systems with that technique. Our fascial system and the lymphatic system they work hand in hand. We actually have fascia to lymph channels that they suck the toxins and all the junky stuff out of the connective tissue into the lymphatic system to be then released from the body. And that's super important that you keep that lymphatic system flowing. You keep those channels clear. When they get clogged, stuff goes sideways. And you are starting to hold on to toxins, and your body just starts to do weird things in order to try to protect you and keep you alive. But then we experience those things as symptoms, and that can also lead to chronic pain. So we want to keep those lymphatic channels clear, and that friction technique is one great tool to help you to do that. So my bonus tip today is to kind of piggybacking on what I started talking about in the beginning. Your bonus tip is to try to walk barefoot as much as possible. We're not made with shoes. We were made with our bare feet. It's our natural state. And this is a wonderful state to be in. So, because of the change in our technology, and we've got roads and all these kinds of things, the need for shoes came up for humanity. But really, you want to try to be barefoot as much as possible. And I understand when you go out and you leave your house, you're going to work and stuff, obviously you need your shoes. When you get home at night, take those shoes off. You don't need to be walking around your house in shoes. Go outside. Put your feet in the grass. It's really grounding for that. So walk around in the grass, because you get those different levels of terrain. Your body has to adjust and shift. But you also make sure you want to melt your feet first, so that the information from your brain is flowing to the feet to the brain. And that way you don't hurt yourself with compensatory pathways or compensatory movement pathways. So some benefits of walking barefoot are better control of your foot position when it strikes the ground. And that's super important, because every time you take a step and your foot strikes the ground, it is sending information. It's a ground force reaction. It's sending information to your brain to let it know what it needs to do. Are you on a stable surface? Do any adjustments need to be made in the upper body so that you don't fall down, basically? So when you're walking around barefoot, you have a better sense of that feeling of an information flow from when the foot strikes. It improves your balance, it improves your proprioception. Proprioception is how you manage through space, how your brain knows where your body is in space. You should always be able to know that without you looking or touching something. It gives you better body awareness. And all of these things can help with pain relief. It can help with better foot mechanics. And when you have better foot mechanics, all of that reverberates up the body, for better or for worse. So when you have better foot mechanics, your feet are functioning more effectively and efficiently. Then your knees function more effectively and efficiently. Your hips, your core, everything above the feet will function better. So take those shoes off, walk around, get outside, climb a tree if you want to get fancy. But yeah, so get your feet. So I think I shared this story, I don't know, I think it was in a post this week. I'm a dancer, I've been dancing my whole life, and when I was little, doing those standards, tap, jazz, and ballet, we always wore shoes. I get to college, University of Alabama, Roll Tide, and started dancing with their dance program there, and it was primarily a modern program, and I had not been exposed to that before, and had not been exposed to the idea of dancing barefooted, and it was super weird. But it was weird at first because I just wasn't used to it, but over time I did get used to it, and I got so used to it that I didn't want to put my shoes back on. So when I started dancing professionally, when I was dancing mostly in modern company, so still barefooted, but from time to time we did put on shoes, or if I would go take a ballet class or something, or even like a hip hop class, I put shoes on, and it was weird. I really wanted to take those shoes off, and now if I go take a ballet class, I always take my shoes, but I've never put them on. I just really like the feeling of the groundedness I have. I can be more expressive with my feet. I just feel more control of my body. It just feels more freeing for me to dance barefooted. So it's a beautiful thing. It's very powerful. If you're hearing me say this and you're thinking, it hurts when I take off my shoes, it hurts for me to walk around barefooted, or my doctor told me not to walk barefooted, that I need shoes. If that is your experience, please DM me today. Let's get you started. Let me help you create a plan to help you get out of pain, to allow you to be able to walk barefoot, because I believe it's better for your body to be able to do that. And I think you'll agree too when you start doing it more. But today is actually the last day for you to join our NutriResults Fit Club. We're not going to have open enrollment again until next year. So you've got until 5 p.m. Central Time today to DM me. As long as you DM me by 5 p.m. today, that'll and so we can get you started. That will be fine. But today's the last day for that. When you join the Fit Club, you're going to get a 90-minute session with me to get you started with your melt practice. I'm going to give you a personalized melt map. You're going to get a plan that you can carry on to go forward the rest of your life if you wanted. But to kind of get you started on your melt journey, you're going to get a plan that you can do. It's a month plan, but really it goes into a maintenance phase so you can keep using it. You're going to get tools. I'm going to gift you your soft roller and your hand and foot kit, so you have everything you need. You're going to get PDFs of all the techniques. And also as part of the Fit Club, you're going to get practice sessions. You're going to get opportunities to come to live classes. You're going to get to spend time with me, ask questions, get guidance that you need, and to be able to refine the moves that you learn in your 90-minute session. You're also going to learn new moves. You're going to learn new maps, new sequences. So having those live sessions is awesome because it allows you to be able to continue to work on your practice, refine your techniques, and I think I said that already. I'm so sorry. Also really learning how to get in your body, sense what you're feeling, and then be able to know what to do when you've said something. So for example, when you're doing that rest assessment and you notice you've got some tension and stuck stress in your lower body, well, we may melt your upper body, or you can melt your upper body, and then when you reassess, notice changes in your lower body. Even though you didn't touch your lower body, didn't do anything with your lower body, you're only working on the upper body. Those are what we call indirect changes. So it's good to be able to start to play with that and learn so that you know what you need to do for your own body. So it may be a lower body treatment is what you need. It may be some lengthening techniques that may be what you need. But as you come to these practice sessions, you're going to start to learn and refine that for yourself and build an amazing self-care practice. These techniques, I think, are really a foundation for building a consistent self-care practice, and one that's guilt-free. So because these techniques are so easy, they don't take up a lot of time, it's a really great place for you to start. You're also going to get, and this is probably the best part of being in the Fit Club, you're going to get access to our NutriResults community, and you're going to be able to connect and create meaningful connections with other women just like you who are concerned about their health and wellness, or their health and wellness is super important to them, and you want to have a really strong, fantastic self-care routine, but you're not quite sure how to get there. We're all doing it together, and we support each other in this process, and it's amazing. I love my members. They're so near and dear to my heart, and we have a lot of fun together. So if you are interested in this, if you're dealing with chronic pain, you're worried about, as you age, being able to keep up with your kids and do activities with your kids and offer them experiences that you want. If you are experiencing chronic pain and you're thinking about it all the time and you want to stop having to think about it all the time, just really want to get your life back on track and feel good in your body, please DM me. Please join us. Join our Fit Club, and let's get you started in feeling amazing in your body, looking in the mirror, and loving what you see. All right, I'm going to go now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great weekend. And stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about some really awesome things that are coming up for our community starting next week. So please stay tuned for our exciting announcement next week. So thank you so much, and I'm going to come close to the camera, say goodbye so I can touch the button. All right, bye.